They call her the monster in the woods, the rejected Omega who steals children in the night. But when the Alpha King storms her cabin, he doesn't find a kidnapper. He finds his nephew, 7 terrified kids, and a secret that will destroy his entire kingdom. This is the story of Hywin, the woman who weaponized her rejection. Act 1. The raid 20 degrees below zero. A cabin buried in snow on Blackwood Ridge. Hywin kneels beside a feverish 6-year-old named Toby, wiping his forehead with melted snow. Around her, 6 more rejected children. The defects their packs threw away. Then a pregnant girl collapses at her door. "They're going to kill my baby," the girl gasps. "Alpha Liam says it's a runt." Liam, the Alpha who rejected Hywin 4 years ago. But Hywin doesn't know what's coming. 3 miles away, armored SUVs cut through the storm. Leading them, Gideon Stone, the Alpha King. His 7-year-old nephew vanished 2 weeks ago. The intel says a rogue Omega kidnapped him for ransom. "We take her alive," Gideon orders. "I want to know who paid her." Boom. The door explodes inward. Tactical team. Laser sights on her chest. Hywin grabs a fire poker, pathetic against assault rifles. Then he walks in, 6'4" of lethal power. Steel gray eyes that make her knees buckle. "Where is the boy?" His voice isn't loud. It silences the wind. Hywin swings the poker at the King of Wolves. He catches it with one hand, grabs her throat with the other. "Give me the boy, and you live. Keep fighting, and I bury you under this cabin." "He isn't yours," she gasps. "I won't let you kill him like the others." Kill him? Then he hears it. A muffled cry beneath the floorboards. He rips open the trap door. 7 pairs of terrified eyes stare up at him. And in the center, Uncle Gideon? His nephew, alive, shielding the others. Gideon reaches for him, but Leo scrambles back in terror. "Don't take me! Don't take me back to the bad doctors!" Bad doctors? Gideon looks at Hywin, pinned to the ground, crying not for herself, but for them. "Please," she sobs. "Take me. Just don't hurt the kids." The narrative in his head shatters. This isn't a kidnapping. Leo is hiding. "Stand down," Gideon orders quietly, then roars, "Get off her! Now!" Act 2. The truth. 4 hours to the palace. Hywin doesn't sleep. She watches the Alpha King in the rearview mirror. He's typing furiously on his phone, but every few minutes, his steel eyes lock onto hers. "Why did you take him?" he finally asks. "He ran," Hywin whispers. "He used the burner phone I gave his mother. He called me." She tells him everything. How she was a nurse at the Pack Hospital. How she held Mother's hands when doctors declared their babies inadequate. At the palace, they're taken to the East Wing. Gilded cage, windows reinforced, doors locked from outside. Dr. Bennett arrives to examine the children. But when he approaches Leo, the boy screams, "No! Needles! No green juice!" Hywin rolls up Leo's sleeve. His arm is covered in needle scars. "That's compound V7, she says coldly. "Synthetic adrenal stimulant. Illegal. It forces late bloomers to shift. Half die of heart failure. The other half go mad." Gideon stares at the scars. His face goes blank. "My brother," he rasps. "My brother allowed this." "Your brother ordered it," Hywin says, "because having a son who couldn't shift was an embarrassment." Gideon roars. Dr. Bennett flees. Then Gideon looks at all the children, their scars, their deformities, their fear. Hywin didn't steal them. She salvaged them. "You, my study. Now," he orders. In the mahogany fortress of his study, he pours scotch. "Why did Liam reject you?" Hywin's voice hardens. "He wanted me to administer V7 to pups in the nursery. Create super soldiers. I refused, threatened to report him. So he destroyed me, fabricated a medical report saying I was barren, publicly rejected me, froze my assets, made me a rogue so no one would believe my story." Gideon's knuckles turn white. The pregnant girl? Carrying Liam's bastard. He ordered her to terminate it. She ran to me instead. Before Gideon can respond, his beta bursts in. Sir, he's here. Liam. With Counselor Thorne from the High Council. They have a warrant for her arrest. Highwin's face goes pale. Gideon reaches for her. Their hands touch. A shock wave. Static spark. Impossible to ignore. They both gasp. Their eyes lock. The bond. The fated connection. Mate. They'll kill me, she whispers. They'll have to kill me first, Gideon growls. He offers his arm. Ready to rewrite history. Act 3. The trial. The throne room. Cameras broadcasting live. Alpha Liam looks perfect in his tailored suit. Beside him, Counselor Thorne, head of genetic purity, holding a briefcase like a weapon. We're here to collect a fugitive and the children she abducted, Thorne announces. Liam turns to the cameras, tragic pity on his face. The rejection broke her. She became delusional, believed pack doctors were hurting children. She stole supplies, fled, and began kidnapping pups. The lie is perfect. Smooth. But Highwin speaks up. Griselda is pregnant with your child, Liam. Gasps ripple through the gallery. Liam laughs. This is exactly what I mean. The delusions. I would never... We can prove it. DNA test. Highwin challenges. Thorne slams his briefcase down. Enough. Under the Genetic Purity Act, that woman is an unregistered rogue, harboring unregistered mutants. Hand them over, King Gideon, or be in violation of Council Charter. It's a trap. Refuse, and the Council can strip his command. Agree, and the kids die. Highwin steps forward, moving away from Gideon's protection. You call them defects, but you're scared of them, she says to the cameras. Thorne goes pale. Seize her! Guards move forward. The V7 compound, Highwin shouts. You inject it into late bloomers to force a shift, but it doesn't. Just force a shift. It breaks the genetic lock on the ancient traits. Deadly silence. Toby can hear a heartbeat from 3 miles away. Maya can smell fear hormones like a lie detector. Leo's wolf was too strong. His body fought the V7 to survive. You aren't culling the weak. You're killing the strong because you can't control them. Lies, Liam roars. She is a traitor. She is mateless. No wolf wanted her. I threw her away. She is garbage. He channels his alpha aura. A wave of psychic pressure to force her to her knees. Highwin buckles. The air crushes her lungs. Liam steps closer, raises his hand to strike her. Then the air evaporates. A roar shakes the windows. Enough! Gideon blurs. 1 moment at the throne. Next, standing between Highwin and Liam. He catches Liam's wrist mid-air. Bone crunches. Liam screams. Gideon forces him to one knee. The king's eyes are completely black. Canines elongating. You call her garbage. You call her weak. Gideon's voice is a tectonic shift. She is my mate! The declaration hits like a bomb. Cameras flash. Reporters gasp. Thorne drops his briefcase. Gideon turns to Highwin. Cups her face. A visible spark of gold energy arcs between them. The mark of the fated. I, Gideon Stone, claim Highwin as my mate and queen. Her words are my words. Her protection is my law. He turns back to the council, and she says you are poisoning children. The side doors burst open. Leo runs in, followed by the other lost pups. Clean. Dressed in royal velvet. He's the bad man. Leo points at Liam. He held me down. He made the doctors stick needles in my arm. Liam scrambles up, eyes wild, cornered. They are abominations. I was purifying the pack. Griselda steps forward, rubbing her pregnant belly. You told me to kill this baby because it would be a runt, she says. Liam's control snaps. With a wet, tearing sound, he shifts. Clothes shred. Gray wolf with yellow eyes. He doesn't lunge for Gideon. He knows he can't win. He lunges for Griselda. Highwin moves before anyone else. She throws herself in front of the pregnant girl. Liam's jaws snap shut on Highwin's shoulder. Blood sprays across marble. Gideon's roar cracks a camera lens. The king doesn't shift fully. He lets power explode out of him. He tackles the wolf, human hands transforming to claws mid-air. They crash into the dais. Gideon is bigger, faster, infinitely more powerful, and blinded by the sight of his mate's blood. He hammers fists into Liam's ribs. They snap like twigs, grabs his scruff, throws him across the room. Liam crashes at Thorne's feet, whimpering. Gideon drops to his knees beside Hywin. "I'm okay," she gasps. "Did Griselda?" "She's safe, you crazy stubborn woman. You jumped in front of a wolf." "Habit," she whispers, smiling faintly. Gideon stands, wipes her blood from his hands. "Arrest them both," he says, pointing at Liam and Thorne. He turns to the still rolling cameras. The genetic. Purity Act is suspended effective immediately. All rejected wolves are granted safe passage to the capital. Any alpha found culling pups will be treated as a traitor. He looks down at Hywin on the stretcher. The dead zone is closed. No one is forgotten anymore. As they wheel her out, she looks back at the children. Leo holding Griselda's hand. Toby watching with hero-worshipping eyes. They're safe. Gideon walks beside her, holding her uninjured hand. "We started a war, didn't we?" she whispers. He kisses her knuckles. "Yes, and we're going to win it." Epilogue. 3 months later. The palace gardens. Spring has arrived. Children's laughter echoes through halls that had been silent for generations. Hywin stands on the balcony watching Gideon play tag with Leo below. Her shoulder still aches when it rains, but she's healing. Since the Genetic Purity Act was abolished, 200+ defective pups have come to the capital. 90% aren't defective. They're gifted. Ancient. Bloodline powers resurfacing. Liam and Thorne. Life imprisonment. No parole. A scream echoes from inside. Griselda is in labor. Hywin and Gideon rush to the medical wing. Hours later, a thin wail. A boy. 10 fingers. 10 toes. But when he opens his eyes, one eye chocolate brown, the other luminous violet. The mark of a truth-seer, Gideon breathes. Hasn't been recorded since the first age. This boy can see through any lie. Griselda begins to cry. Happy tears. Liam wanted to kill him because one look from his own son would have exposed him, Hywin realizes. "I'll name him Justice," Griselda whispers. That evening, sunset paints the sky purple and gold. Gideon wraps his arms around Hywin on the highest balcony. "The council wants to hold a coronation," he murmurs against her neck. "I don't need a crown," she says. "I have a home, the kids. That's enough." He pulls out a ring, woven silver and iron. Strong, unbreakable, simple. "I don't want a queen who sits on a throne. I want a partner who runs with me in the woods. I want the woman who looked the Alpha King in the eye and told him to go to hell." Hywin smirks through tears. "I told you to get out of my house." "Same thing?" He grins. "Will you help me rule this mess of a kingdom?" She slides on the ring. Perfect fit. "Only if we change one more law. Every Sunday the king cooks dinner. No chefs. Just you." Gideon groans, pulling her in for a kiss. "You drive a hard bargain, mate. Take it or leave it, Alpha." He kisses her deep and slow under the rising moon. Below in the city, lights come on. In the nurseries, the defective children sleep without fear. In the void cells, the villains sit in silence. And in the palace, the Alpha King and his rejected queen stand together, ready to face a new dawn. This is the story of Hywin and Gideon. It started with a rejection meant to destroy her. Instead, it forged her into the only person strong enough to save the kingdom. Sometimes the things the world calls flaws are actually our greatest strengths waiting to be discovered. Liam tried to bury the truth, but he forgot the most important rule of the wild. You can't hide from the dawn. If this story moved you, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Drop a comment. What did you think of the Ancient Traits twist? Have you ever felt like your differences made you an outcast? only to realize later they were your superpowers? I read every single one.